philosophical, psychological asshole like me, you you ask all sorts of questions because of everything you like and don't like in the world. So everybody's who has been on the leading edge, you know, we're all keeping an eye on all these new limited hangouts. Limited hangouts are pretty apparent to me, right? It's consciousness evolution, and the pitfalls therein. You know, the absolute best example in the universe is Tucker Carlson, right? Tucker Carlson and like Candace Owens. You know, when you get into the details of what they are fighting, you know, about, there's some really good work going in there, and then there can be a lot of missing the point, deliberate misdirection, etc., etc. Some of it seems like it is coming from a sincerity based on where they're at, which is going to be interested in certain controls, right? Charlie Kirk was part of a new conservative movement because the Zionists were willing to do certain things because the Zionists needed to very hard in the conservative and Republican Party manner of things change face. So they abandoned a lot of domestic policy, you know, but they kept a lot of the same economic policy, and they are keeping, unfortunately, a lot of the same foreign policy, economic policies and foreign policies, and that's mostly about the Middle East, obviously. And so, you know, you got Charlie Kirk, right? Charlie Kirk's a perfect example. Listen, we could say all day that this guy killed Charlie Kirk. You know? Charlie Kirk was a civilian, private citizen. He wasn't running for office. And his work was kind of a ministry, right? And so, does it count as an assassination? You know, is he a Martin Luther King type who was in the same exact kind of position on the spectrum, right? Over, you know, the surface issues on the social issues, right? So, you know, and Charlie Kirk's hangout limits were very obvious. It came with these aggregates of disagreements with him. But he was a very agree to disagree kind of guy. Anyway, sorry, I was having an angry thought for a second. I don't know if I doze. Whoa, I got 6 fucking souls listening to me. But only one of you like me. Why don't only one of you like me? So anyway, the limited hangout. Oh, look at that. The like went away. You must have hit that like by accident. Come on, get trolling. Come on, where's my trolls? Hit me with it. Hit me with it. Anyway, hi, I'm Zaralath Eternal. Oh, look at that. Now I'm down to 1. Are you the guy that liked me and took it away. Now I must know. What just happened right there? Was YouTube confused and said, wait, don't give this kid an edge. Oh wait, they're back. But my likes haven't gone up, so you didn't leave the video to go like the video. Or the likes are just on delay and I'll see them later. I don't know. Oh, I got a guy over here with a long name who's saying hi. Oof. Oh, I got a couple people saying hi. Well, hello. New human beings. Look at that. Okay, said hi. Effective generation. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Muhammad. Hi, Muhammad. How you doing? If you are if you're Muslim, you might find me as or more offensive as the Christians find me. I am certainly a heretic. I think I probably qualify for all the things, even though I'm just sitting here talking shit. So, sorry for being American. Sorry, not sorry. Only sorry in the sense that I do not vote. Therefore, I do not co-sign the evils that have been done to you. I don't trust anybody to do you right. Other than that, I have terrible problems with your religion, but I want you as a person living on this planet to be all right. If you're all right with everybody else being all right and everything's copacetic, because obviously not every Muslim is a conversionist, although there's a whole lot of that. But then there's a whole lot of that in Christianity, and I am a pagan, and so you're going to have to deal with that listening to me. So anyway, so these limited hangouts are just, you know, they're step level. And like a lot of people say that. I mean, you can look at it in the simplest terms of they don't know enough, and they're still making all sorts of assumptions, right? Because, they're leaning into all sorts of different things. They wouldn't know what to do outside of leaning into doctrinal dogmatic faith and finding their rationalization for things in that context, right? They have a struggle with secular thought because as they rise in their station, they are rising with agreement, and you're seeing a more obscure, vaguely accurate face of the body politics consciousness in one large area and demographic, right? So if you know how to study psychology and the psyche and bring that into the spiritual metaphysics of the matter, you can see a lot about what's happening with causality, the wag the dog factor. What level of psyop is happening here? What level of psyop are people falling for? Do people consciously question whether the people they're talking to are psyops? Hey, what's up, Chrissy? Don't forget to like. Nobody has liked since I saw 6 views, and now I'm down to 3. And subscribe. Take a peek around my channel. You may want to subscribe. This is not the totality of what I do. I do a lot of things. I'm not just a guy streaming off the top of his head, which I am doing in a manner that happens to say meaningful things. But, let me get back into it. And Christy, if you put the little guitar emoji, I hope you've heard the new song. I posted from my Zerolath shreds on this channel's board right? You can look at the whatever the social board of the channel. You'll see a post to my Zeralath shreds with the new one. If you want to hear how my performance has improved since the chiropractor. Don't go to my buds. Hold on. I'm sorry. Don't do that. Don't do that. I hope you guys can hear me. Hold on. Hey, I'm sorry about that. Because I gotta get new earbuds. These earbuds are there's something funky with it now, and it doesn't sit on the charger all the time just right, and then when it's off the charger, it automatically turns on when it's off the charger, and then it's automatically searching for any device it has the handshake with, and then it goes to the microphone of that. So if I don't catch that, I could have a fucking pseudo-muted stream. Hey, Peaceful Penguin's here. Alright. So, I try and get my bead on the collective ego and the collective unconscious through trying to listen to where our forces think they are at. That's what it is. You're looking at where everybody thinks they are at versus where you know we are at. Because because for you, you at least know the immediate background players that make the serious transcendent of just the facade and the politics and the discussion and the meetings of the matter, the what's really ups with the followed, the monies and the blackmail and especially the blackmail and everything that intersects the blackmail. Oh, back up to 6 people again. Hi, guys. Right, and so you're like a teacher in a classroom, and the kids are all in a structured argument group, right? Like the teacher had a thing, he laid out a thing, and he said, now break up into different groups, come up with ideas, and then we're going to debate each other's ideas. And that's kind of where the whole fucking world is at when it comes to these limited hangout based pundits. I think one of the things that you'll notice to the effect of someone like Tucker, right, is that and this is opposed to Candace Owens, although different because Candace Owens doesn't fit the same framework for others that she compares to. And that is the factor of talking speed. Just wanted to touch on talking speed at the I'm near the end here. I want to get off in a minute. Talking speed. So Tucker, when he was on Fox, now, especially because he does a lot more conversational things, his show can go on with breaks wherever the fuck he wants to put them and such. And, his production and writing control, right? He's in a very comfortable place with how he's structured in the business and the professional associations and personal associations he has. You know, now he's slower. He's talking slower. His cadence, same cadence, same rhythm, tempo down. Tempo down. Why? He's in a lower heart rate. Slower thinking. Slower thinking gives you time to process bigger ideas. Less familiar words are being spoken. Less familiar symbols and images and meanings are being discussed in a manner to be brought to clarity. This is not the way they like how people talk on television anymore. You know? Television never has an old guy talking about the serious things of the world, just kind of sitting there and saying something meaningful about it that you can apply towards your self-empowerment. Not just perhaps leaving you with a question to fucking feed fuel to the talking heads. Because it kind of became that to destroy its usefulness, and it had to find itself again in things like what people were doing way before Tucker showed up. That then Tucker said, wait a minute, if I want to take myself seriously, I need to do this. The people already acknowledge that this is much better, much more informative, much more relevant to my life. My life? Look, I'm already talking like him. Anyway. So that's why you listen to me. I talk slowly and I use big fucking words. But I move fucking fast, though. I think much faster than I speak. I don't want to speak as fast as I think, because that's what got me in trouble. And a great deal of that is Mercury placement, Uranus retrograde, my ascendant, oi. Anyway, look at me saying oi. Alright, I've said oi. That's too Jewish. I'm leaving. Bye!